What's up, this is Jake with VFX To Go, and this is another breakdown of the breakdown where we scrub through VFX show reels from some of the biggest and most talented VFX studios in the film industry. For those of you who don't know me, I've been a visual effects producer, supervisor, and artist for going on 2 decades now, and one of my favorite things to do when I'm scrolling through YouTube is to check out visual effects breakdowns of some of my favorite shows and movies, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. Today we have a reel from MPC from Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. It's a trailer, it's a live action trailer for a video game, and they actually have a really cool visual effects breakdown for this trailer that they did. And I think you're gonna see a lot of really cool things. So let's take a look. All right, right out the gate here, I'm gonna pause it right here already because this is awesome. This shows the importance of combining practical elements with visual effects. In this case, what they've done is they've built an actual interior of this helicopter, and they put it on a gimbal so they can actually have movement. What you see is above them, they have interactive lighting. On the ground, they have interactive lighting. And they also have a camera on a techno crane coming in from the back for this shot in particular. So let's take a look at how they do it. Love seeing the moving lights. Here's the crew. And this is our first visual effects shot. Now everything goes by pretty quickly. That's why I love being able to scrub through this and really find the fine details throughout. So let's take a look. Okay, I'm going to pause it right here. Here's the plate shot. This is the shot that they started with. And what I love about this is that they've shot on a black screen outside rather than something like a blue screen or a green screen. By doing this, they have better access to all the reflections and the detail in the window, like the smudges, the scratches, the dirt, all of it. And all of that gives a lot more detail to the shot and really ties everything together a little nicer. The only thing you have to do here when you don't have a blue screen or a green screen is you have to do a little bit more rotoscoping. But the advantage is you also don't have to worry about any spill coming off of the screen or even a bad key in some scenarios. Now here's the background plate. They add the helicopter model there, and here's our final result. Similarly, the same deal as the previous shot. I love that we get a lot of the detail from the window in this. That really helps to tie these things together. And we're going to scrub back, and what you'll notice too is after we see the mock-up here, they've comped in the live action footage from the same helicopter. And that's a great little detail to have in there. You have your live action actors in there to really tie the whole thing together and make it feel more real. But it's also, it's one of those details. It's so small and it's even out of focus. And as you're going to see, I let it play, you're obscuring it with a lot of atmosphere. But if it wasn't there, it wouldn't feel right. Just it being there really helps tie the shot together. Right here. This is a great example right here. We have your live action. Like you see the outside of the helicopter. They didn't even bother to make it look like a helicopter because they're going to use the exterior. They're going to use the 3D model as the exterior of this helicopter. All right, full CG shot here. Drones coming in. I'm assuming that this is a rendered out background, but it could just as well be a plate they shot. But I get the feeling that it's rendered. They've also added some mountain extension there, so that could be an indication that it could also be a plate that they shot with a drone or a helicopter or something. I love the different layers here. You see the light on the helicopter when when the explosion goes off, and I love the lens flaring. That also helps tie everything together and really brings the shot together. There's our drones. Right here, it's a great example of using a set that on a gimbal. You get all the shaking, you get all the movement, things are flying everywhere. They've even got a wind machine and smoke machines going to really sell the damage that's happening. You see the lights on the ground too. They have the orange gels on them so that way they get the color of the explosion just coming through. Interactive lighting is one of those things that can often get overlooked. And then you see it when they try to add an explosion or a gunfire in post-production, and you'll see the explosion or the fire or the muzzle flash, but sometimes you won't see the light that reacts from it because it's a light source. So when you have interactive light and smoke on set, it can really sell the shot when you're adding fake explosions of fire. So it's always good to have something that's practical, because when you use something that's practical, combine it with something that's digital, it really makes everybody's work look a little bit better. When everybody's helping each other out, practical will help digital look better, and digital can enhance what's practical. So good on them. I love this shot right here because what you see is a really cool work in progress. They've only done a very simple masking of the windows. It's so they can work on tracking and mocking up the shot before they go in and do the finer detail. And this is a big part in selling the work in progress to the producer, director, whoever's in charge of approvals of these things, because you want to get these things approved early on before you start putting too much detail into them. So you can see that they've got the tracking down, they've got the placement of the models down, and it really tells us what is supposed to happen in this shot. Again, hard at work, everybody. I love seeing all these layers. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't often think about is when you make a breakdown like this video, you're trying to highlight your work, and when you make the final shot, yes, there's a lot of render power that goes into you making the final shot, but people also forget that in a case like this, they want to show a 360 of all the awesome work they did, and they did some crazy good work. But this also involves a lot of render power is involved to do this alone too. So this to me is double impressive, because not only is the shot really cool, but now they're just showing off all the hard work they've done, because a lot of these effects could be 2D comped elements, but they're showing you that all of this smoke is being simulated, all the fire is being simulated, because you can look at it from all perspectives, and it's really good work they've done here. So again, hats off to you. And then right there, let's back it up a little bit. You can see the results of that previous mock-up that we saw. So as we scrub through it, you see the helicopter coming at us and actually explodes right before it hits us, and the explosion comes straight through the windshield. Very cool shot. I love this right here because we see the stunt performer on wires, which will obviously be removed. The stunt performer is going to be rotoscoped, but the exterior of the helicopter, again, they didn't even dress the helicopter exterior to look like the helicopter. They just built up the interior because that's the important part where most of the actors will be interacting with. But the exterior will all be replaced with a 3D model. Let's scrub through it here. Here's the mock-up. And here's the final. This is beautiful. Great work. Again, that interactive lighting is so crucial, and they really nailed it here. This is cool because this shows how practical and digital can help each other out. You see, they've used some practical explosions here, right there, but then they've used digital to really enhance it, giving it all those little fireballs that are flying out from it too, which would otherwise be maybe a little dangerous on set with your actors on set, but they get all that awesome interactive lighting that allows them to enhance everything. It is beautiful. I love it. Again, more interactive lighting, some practical fire on set. That's good. See, what they have here is an enhanced shot. So this is the original plate, I believe. And what you see is you see a couple of light sources. You see a lot of smoke. It looks like a little bit of fire there. Having the practical fire on set makes the digital fire look so much better. And this could very well be stock elements that are from a website like actionvfx.com, which I highly recommend. This is great. I love this stuff. So what we have on the top left is a mock-up of the gunfire and bullet hits and debris that they wanted to illustrate. And they've done a great job at showing exactly what they intend to do, because like if we go through this frame by frame, you'll see every time there's a yellow mark where there's a tree being hit, you see debris coming down. In this case right there, yeah, that tree matches the hit that you see there, and they even match it bullet for bullet. I mean, really. And it's things like this that help the communication in the post-production process, and that is crucial. When you can illustrate what you're thinking to anyone who's in charge of the edit or approvals, this is a great tool for communicating what you have in mind. I love seeing that camera flying through. Here again, here's some more muzzle flash. Muzzle flash, bullets flying, smoke, debris. You can see all the embers in the background. Wonder how much of that was practical, though. They added a couple of trees here. I'm curious why they did that, but good on them. Good work. I love seeing these layers with the drones. This is a cool shot. Okay, so this is our original plate. You see there's some fog and atmosphere on set. They've added some rocks along the shore. I assume that's probably because in the full shot the tank may roll up on it and they want some interacting rocks. Atmospheric layer. And there we are with the 3D model there. Great models they're using. That's a great shot. Now, it looks like they could be using some practical explosions, but I see this rocket flying in, and I'm confident that that is a CG rocket. And again, this highlights the importance of interactive lighting again. They have something going back there. That's probably a practical explosion. It might be entirely practical, but even if it's not, if they enhanced it, all of that light there, see how it hits all the rocks on the ground, the water, how it reflects off the surface of the water, how it wraps around the actors in the foreground. Some of that can even be faked, but this is so well done because they're using something practical there, even if it's enhanced. That's a great shot. Okay, so we have here gunfire. And not just gunfire in slow motion. I love that they've run a simulation for the smoke trailing the bullet shell as it's coming out of the gun. The shell itself could also just be a stock element that they just keyframe out. A couple of shells there. Yep, that's beautiful work. They added ripples around it too, and you can see the actor really just trying to simulate the kick. And they have some reactive light on his face too when the muzzle flash hits. Boom! Beautiful work by MPC on Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. If you like what you saw in that reel, you can check it out for yourself at the link in the description below. If you notice something I missed, or you have some insight on how they did some of these shots, or if you have a VFX reel that you think I need to take a look at, please leave it in the comments below. If you like this breakdown of the breakdown, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell for notifications of when we put out our next video. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at VFX2Go. And you can check us out on our website, vfx2go.com. Until next time, I'll see you on the next breakdown of the breakdown.